Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. It is 1:01 on Thursday, February 29th, 2024. We're here for an update from the Ambulance Service District Board, and I will turn it over to the chairman to see what you've got. What do we need to discuss?
Basically, I think we need to discuss budgeting. We've got a slight problem. I don't want to bring it up right now, but Jeff knows about it. We're going into budget. I think, Jeff, we probably should start in April and go in depth and look at it with Timmy and everybody. Being everybody's new, so we're a little, I guess you would say, overrun. Not bad, but
yeah.
So if I look at our stuff, overall, we're at 26% right now, which is where we should be. There's some line items that definitely have some issues, but bottom line, we're only at 26%, which is where we should be. So I don't think it's too detrimental.
Yeah. But I think what
sure.
we're looking at is the original contract is what we got to.
Right. So, but that's where we're at with the numbers we have in there right now.
Okay.
So, and I'm going to get with Brittany and Peggy this next week, and the original contract we have where the fire department wasn't a flat rate, and so I think there's some overtime that we got to look at and see how we're going to come up with it. We're going to have to ask legal about the whether the contract is.
Can I interrupt? Are we talking about the mechanical or the
No.
maintenance contract? Which contract are we
we're talking about the contract with the fire department.
Okay.
There was a contract signed with the fire department and the ambulance board and the commission.
Yeah, the labor contract. Yeah.
Labor contract. So
Okay.
I think we're short in that. I think there's been overtime and so forth. So we need to look into that to see where we can come up with the funds and whether the contract stands. I believe the contract would stand and our budget wouldn't. So we may look at opening up the budget. I know they have funds that are saved. And you have funds that are, we got 800,000 and about 450s. So I think we can look at that.
we have the money. We just don't want to let it get too far. We need to look into it and get it settled.
But we're only 26%.
On the budget numbers, we're at 26% overall bottom line.
But it sounds like if it's going the way it's going, we're going to end up
that
far
it
worse.
could possibly go.
Yep. But it could go worse. Yep. We need to just firm it up.
And the Chiefs want to go to a salary type thing.
Yeah, a flat
The way
rate.
they spoke last meeting.
Yep.
Right.
So that would eliminate the overtime.
That was the next thing. So that's something that we need to. I think the two boards and the chiefs should get together and
Discuss
sit down, and then even if their district commissioners want to come or something, we do it in the board advisory board meeting or schedule up here or whatever. But we should get that nipped in the bud by April. I would say May.
Yeah.
And then we can start planning our budget.
Okay.
I don't want to end up like the corporation, because that's kind of how we started there too. We ended up with expenses and then bang, we were out of money.
Yeah. And we want to make sure that we'll be viable for the next couple of years. But like we talk about, when you start a business, you're usually in the red for 5 years, and so this is, we're on track. I mean, I really do think this is on track. I mean, you don't start a business to start making money. That just doesn't happen. So, I mean, we just have to do some adjustments, and I think overall we're looking fine. It just
Just one line's off.
in our contract, just sure up our contract, and I think we'll be looking good.
Okay. Anything further on that issue? What else?
Just that they want to bring up a flat rate, probably would help us a bunch
Mm-hmm.
because we know what we're gonna pay regardless, be like a salary.
Yep.
Would help a bunch for that, and we won't have all the backfilling for the overtime.
Yeah.
What's happening is we're running 3 ambulances just about every day, multiple times a day. So there's one of the 2 departments is backfilling.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we're running into overtime.
How many miles did you say we already have on that newer ambulance?
I believe there's over 50,000, 60,000 on it.
Yep.
And it went into service a year and 1 month ago.
Yeah,
So
it's a lot of ambulance calls.
Yeah, and as we get more people in, the more, the busier we're gonna get, so I think.
sitting in the office this morning listening, they had 3 ambulance calls in 5 minutes. One in Pinehurst, one in Kellogg, and one in Silverton.
Yeah.
And that was at 6:15.
Okay.
And we're all getting older, so. Jay, I'm not. So, I think the other thing is I think we need to start scheduling some budgets.
Yeah.
And I'll get with Timmy and whoever on the board.
Okay.
And then if anybody on this board wants to sit in, we can. We don't have the pleasures of Jerry here, so.
Yeah, and
We
the two-
tried.
The 2 fire chiefs especially, because they're the most
We'll get
impacted.
everybody involved so we can hash this out and get things going. And as I've been preaching the whole time, I still think in the budget, we need to keep some money there for another ambulance.
Mhm.
Because we're 2 years out. We're privileged, we're getting 2 coming, so we're 2 years out, so we can budget for it and still have just about 2.5 years before we get them, so worth the budget, so we'll have the money.
Mhm. I think that's a
That's
good
why I
idea.
wanna nip this overtime thing.
I agree.
Yeah,
I wanna keep this as tight as we can for money wise, and if some catastrophe happens, at least we'll have some backup of some sort.
I agree.
We should get some more money in June. Taxes.
But that's
People
what
didn't
I'm
only pay
saying.
half, so that'll help too. Not that we need to take care of the overtime problem.
I think we can do that. There's even Wallace, they hire out the sheriff's department. And there's even places in the country that hire out fire departments. They don't have their own, so I mean, it's done. I think we can simplify our contract a little bit more, pushing it towards something like that where it's not hourly or.
Simple fact is we really didn't put in the budget for paramedics. Just
Mhm.
an oversight on everybody's part that, they're getting paid more, so that's where we're getting in the heat.
Mhm.
But after being on several calls in the last 6 weeks, I won't do without it.
Yeah, that's true. Then people are in pain up, especially on the ski hill or whatever. They can't give, pain relief or anything, so they got to suffer on their way to the hospital without a paramedic.
Where are we on maintenance?
Maintenance. We need to, first thing, do we have a contract signed with Zach?
we have anything on that?
We had.
Yeah, we had one.
time. I don't know when
That's kind of my concern is if we have a signed contract with Zach and with the difficulties that have arose, are we violating?
Well, there's an out if they're in that contract, but
30 days, I think.
Mhm.
Maybe 60, but I think it's 30.
so,
So we need to check into that, so.
do you not have a copy of the contract?
I'll have to dig through my
Would that be in our master
We
file?
have a copy. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at that and then I'll call you and let you know what it says.
That way, there's no ammunition there, so.
Yeah, So,
I have no problem with the people that are doing it, they are $40 an hour higher than what we're paying Zach, but as long as we're getting a vehicle serviced and there's a running record.
And we've kind of shopped around a little bit just to see, and that seems to be the lowest.
John's happy with it and so Scott, so.
There's really nobody else around.
Yeah, that's what I was
they've been
thinking.
handling the fire apparatus
Uh-huh.
and doing a really good job with them.
It's HMH out of Pinehurst.
it's,
Yeah.
They're mobile as
Come
well,
in
right?
just by the carousel there.
Yeah,
Pardon? Too?
They're mobile, right?
Yeah, they've come out to where we broke down and
yeah.
settled.
They come out to fire scenes and work on the rigs.
so they do offer a little more service than we
Yeah.
were able to get.
And
So,
As
you know,
opposed to move.
if I remember right, didn't they make the ambulance district or the fire district an offer a little less than their regular shop rate?
Yep.
They're like $150 an hour and they said $100 an hour or something like that.
Right.
And so,
we're broke.
yeah,
Fire district got money.
yeah.
All of our money.
Okay, so we are going to need a contract with them.
I would suggest strongly, we made Zach get bonded and insured. I would suggest strongly we stand sued.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying that we need it. We're gonna need a contract in place with HMH. Okay, so we need to reach out to them and I'm gonna need your help with that so we know what we're contracting for. Okay, but I'll get the ball rolling. I'll look at Zach's contract, see what we need to do there.
I don't think we've gone through anything else really with it.
I think that's about all we had discussed in a meeting.
The main thing was this budget deal. And Shell and John met with Jeff. And so you guys got a knowledge of what's going on. And like I said, I want to try to keep this budget as tight as we can keep it. The overages.
That's really why Timmy's there. She's just there to watch you, Bruce.
Not me, it's the two in the white shirts.
That's good. I thought she was watching me.
The two in the white shirts hesitate when I walk in the door. So. I've just with the 7 years with the corporation, I've seen it $1 million in the good, and 6 months later we're broke. Having to ask commissioners for more money, and Jay saw it. So I don't want that to go down that road again.
No, if you do have expensive equipment,
Very.
and we gotta make it last.
People are expensive.
Yeah,
And
I mean it's a lot of special,
money to become paramedics and
a lot
everything
of
else.
specialized skill there going.
And,
I don't want to lose them either.
no.
No.
Anything else you want to bring up?
We did have an basic EMT class, as you guys know. 27 people. I think class time wraps up mid or late April. And then they go into their testing, so hopefully we'll pick up a whole bunch of volunteer EMTs. And the best part is I think there's 1 or 2 from Pritchard Murray, a couple from Mullen, so it's throughout the valley. It's not just for the fire departments. All 3 fire departments, 4 fire departments are helping out and pay for it. So, other than that, my biggest fear was the budget. We need to schedule some time to work on it and get, I guess you would call workshops.
Mm-hmm. We can probably do that. Set up a special budget workshop for the ambulance board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it too early, Timmy, or do you think we better?
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to look and see, what their numbers are, why they're, thinking we're gonna go so far over what they're looking at as far as that goes.
The sooner
but
on the
it's-
salaries you want, the better.
Yeah, I think that's what you wanna look at, that's what their concern is.
They give a rough draft that I won't even present present to you guys yet. It was just, they had too much to finalize on it, and their boards hadn't approved none of it, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
So got a lot of moving parts.
Mhm.
And it's, you know, just like everything, work in progress. We're still growing teeth, and
Bottom line is, I think you're providing more service to the people of the county now than you were a year ago, and probably a year before that, so.
Yeah.
I
We're
mean,
getting better with age.
Yeah.
Things-
well,
It's like a fine wine.
so,
I finally got the fire chiefs to, I think Jeff asked the question in our meeting, how many ambulances do we want to keep when we get the 2 new ones? And I was really shocked at the answer. Both fire chiefs said they would like to keep 1 old ambulance and get rid of 1. So that would give us 3 ambulances in each fire district. So that would alleviate, hopefully, having to borrow Pritchard Murray's all the time.
I agree.
Plus, we'd have leeway.
yeah.
If we have special events, somebody could take one and go, or football games are coming and all that again, so. We don't tie a whole crew up, we can get a volunteer crew or something and go.
Good. Anything else you want to cover?
Well, nothing I want to tell you, so I know you got something you want to say.
From our talk the other day? I honestly just went,
Term limits.
oh, so one of the ideas that have been floated is that the county might want to, with all of our boards, not just the ambulance board, that we might be looking at the idea of, right now there's no term limits for any board. So we might be looking at reestablishing, letting everybody reapply, but creating some kind of a rotating thing so that every couple of years part of the board rotated in or out. This would affect all of our boards though, so we're still in the exploratory stages. We snowmobile. Does P&Z have term limits?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
You're just like, somebody supposed to be on that.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, I disagree with that theory. We have a really good ambulance board. If you're gonna make this move in and out, that probably won't be as good as it was.
Well, and one of the ideas to discuss would even be the length of the terms, so that, maybe it shouldn't be every year or two.
We
Or,
seem to be losing guys as they get older, so, I mean, Frank resigned. I'm not sure how much longer we're gonna have Mac.
how is Mac?
He couldn't come today, but he hoped to be at the next meeting, so I don't know. We didn't go into it much.
Well, we're all either retired or at retirement age.
But I think, if we lose, if we lose a couple of guys that know what they're doing and been there for a couple, 3 years to somebody that's never been it could not be beneficial to the county. But that's my opinion.
Well, and we're in the point of seeking the ideas. So, but there's also the idea of being able to rotate folks too. But maybe we need to do that slowly. Maybe we need to be careful. We don't want to screw up something. We don't want to break something.
Well, the biggest thing is we need a balance.
Yep.
We have the whole valley plus Pritchard Murray, even St. Joe when she can get over as representative. So we need to keep that balance.
Yep.
And keep people that are in the knowledge of it.
Yeah.
Not looking at us, we operate all the.
It takes us a while to stumble through things.
You have to draw us a slow picture.
My happy pictures is Bruce carrying the checkbook around there for that few months that made him so nervous.
That made us all nervous.
That was-
Not just you, not just him.
Like it was on fire.
He took his retirement.
Should have seen him trying to write a check. That was a scary thing.
Yeah.
Especially the white collar crayon.
Mary Bryn calling me up. What is this? Why did you do this? Which was a good feeling. At least I knew she was keeping an eye on things.
You did a
Yeah.
good job. You did a really good job.
We do have $162,000 that we need to decide probably today's the last of the month, so do we wanna close that out and
As long as there's nothing else coming in, there's no reason not to.
What it is it was
The old bank.
the old bank account that they were using and getting
When
deposits
is
in.
the last bill, do you know when the last bill came in lately, or are they still coming, or is
As far as I know, I think it was just December was the
Oh.
last one that
it's not really hurting
Bruce said.
anything right there, is it, for another month,
So,
or?
as long as the system
yeah.
design is good, and I can actually call them and
Well,
just
yeah.
verify that nothing else is happening there.
and
But then it's just ready
we
to be.
need to pay Mary for the month and Terminator?
Is she gonna help with the audit?
I would hope so.
Right, so,
Don't terminate her yet then.
Keep her on.
No, all the outstanding checks basically are cleared, right? Out of the account?
yep, yep.
Okay, so.
Let's find a better
It's just
word
the
than
deposits.
terminate.
It's just
They-
making
that's
sure
right.
that
So
there's
do we
nothing else
wanna-
coming in there that won't get lost in the,
Do we wanna keep her
Transfer,
under
so-
Okay,
contract?
good.
I would think so,
Yeah,
for
we
another
can
month
probably
or two,
close it.
Yeah.
Okay,
unless you talk Jerry
I
and
don't
come in
see
for a
why
couple
not.
days.
yeah.
Well, he would come, I mean.
so I can get with Bruce on that. I have the
do the
checkbook, he
phone
can
call
take
away,
it,
yeah.
get rid of those
I can't
and,
even speak
What's
to
that?
his language.
The outstanding checks have all been cleared on that account, so really, the only reason why it was open, was because they had, some deposits that were coming in, and I think they've.
I think we
Should
ended
be
up
done.
with like 40 or 45,000 in December, if I remember right.
Yeah,
So it seems to me that
From a
when
billing
Timmy, you'll be able to tell when it's time to close it, right? I mean, if there's nothing left
so
outstanding.
just have to get a bank statement. Bruce actually would have access to the bank statements for that.
Okay.
And if
So
there's
really
nothing
all
else
the-
coming in, if it's just sitting
So-
there, then.
there's no
Should we,
outstanding
like,
checks,
maybe
so we
just
don't have
leave
to.
it?
Yeah.
5,000 or 6,000 in there and bring the rest back in, or just to keep it
What's
there,
your-
we could,
I'd just leave it alone for a while.
if there was a.
Give another month or two, and if nothing comes in, then move it.
We'll probably discuss it maybe at the next meeting
Yeah.
and see where it's
Yeah.
at.
There doesn't seem to be a rush.
Are they
Yeah.
giving us a service charge?
I don't think so.
So I don't,
They shouldn't.
I don't think that's a big thing to worry about right now then.
Yeah, we can talk
We'll
about it
talk
again
about
at
it
the
next
next one.
month.
Okay. All right.
I won't do anything to Mary then either yet, if she's gonna help with the audit.
Yeah,
I believe she's
But
supposed
she's
to help
not
with the
cost-
audit.
Okay, no, she does
cost to having her there is nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to cover?
Now's the time, guys, whatever you got to say.
Let's get out of there before we get snowed in. It's not snowing, fine, or sunshine 80.
The lemon trees are in bloom. Oh.
Oh, down through southern Oregon they are.
All right.
They're like crazy.
So,
Well, thank you for the updates and the information, and thank you for the work.
I think we need to, if somebody's ever talking to the paper or something, make sure we get a little thank you to all the EMTs and firemen.
That'd probably be good coming from you or from the ambulance
I tried.
board. You tried? Okay.
I stop in and raise hell with them and thank them.
I'll try a
Someone
different
more on the
route.
I'll get
social
on the
side,
doctor and
Jay.
see if he can.
Huh?
Maybe someone like Jay with a little more.
Yeah, I could talk to Josh if we want to.
Maybe not the way Bruce talks to John.
Not the way Bruce, no, he's from Mullen, I can't help that.
All right, this meeting's adjourned before